What's up, YouTube? My name is Jonathan. I'm doing a segment called Toys You May Have Played With When You Were a Child. And I wanted to do an episode strictly for the movie Dick Tracy. They had a product line of toys that were made by Playmates. Playmates was a company that did iconic toys like the original Ninja Turtles, The Simpsons, and Star Trek as well. Um, Dick Tracy came out in 1990. It was a movie I actually went and saw in theaters, as a child, and I actually had friends that were into it as well. I remember for Halloween one year, my best friend dressed up as Dick Tracy himself. So if you haven't watched that movie, um, it's a little dated. I actually watched it recently with my son, and he didn't really seem to care about it. Obviously because I'm an '80s child. It's nostalgic for me, and I can watch it. So if you haven't watched it, it's got Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy, Madonna, Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman, as well as other actors. So I have the toys here. These aren't the actual toys that I had growing up. The ones I had were opened and played with, and like most people, when you're a certain age, your parents have a garage sale or they sell them or donate them. I'm that child too. Like I experienced all my Generation One and GI Joes donated in a garage sale one year when I think I was like 15. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the figures. This would have been Al Pacino, Big Boy. These are all figures that are unpunched, which means like they weren't put on a peg holder. Um, Somebody might have bought them straight out of the case. Don't necessarily know the history of these specific ones, the Tramp. But I think originally these were purchased at Children's Place or Child World. I don't even know what place that is. This is Mumbles. He's actually pretty funny. I think he was originally played by Dustin Hoffman, and he did like a really great job. Yeah, the cards are pretty cool. Another thing, with figures this year or this age, like these really scale well, like when you played with them. So that it wasn't like these were bigger or smaller. I mean, it was like, for the most part, you know, you could play with Ultimate Warrior and Shoulders or whatever figure you have. But yeah, I ended up picking these up within the time frame of the pandemic. This is probably like the worst condition. It's got like a little bit of a yellowing to it. Um, but yeah, it's still unpunched. I have two full sets of these figures. I couldn't find my other Dick Tracy that I have. This is the Rodent. Yeah, like I said, there was 14 figures that you could get. And like I said, I'm not sure if I did mention this or not. One of the figures was essentially like a figure that was exclusive only to Canada, so you had to have obviously been in Canada or knew someone that would have bought it, maybe shipped it to you. Otherwise, you didn't have that figure growing up. This is Lips. But I happened to luck out. The gentleman that I had bought the figures from, this is Itchy. The gentleman that I bought the figures from, he actually told me that his brother went to Canada to actually buy the figures. He actually had 3 full sets of figures. But by the time I had met him, he only had 2 sets available. Well, actually, he only advertised or told me that he had 1 set. But after becoming friends with him and getting to know him a little bit better, he was actually willing to sell me 2 sets and tell me that he, mentioned that he did have another set. So it's really cool that you can build friendships and relationships with people that you don't know. You might have a common theme or thing that brings you together, whether it's comic books or action figures. But yeah, he likes action figures and comics, so we had a lot in common. This is Flat Top. Like I said, they're all unpunched. Really cool guy. I actually ended up meeting him through, like I said, a Facebook Marketplace ad, and it wasn't even for Dick Tracy figures. It was for an Indiana Jones, like 12-inch or 1/6 scale action figure listing. So this is a Big Boy's getaway car, and so that's how I got in touch with him, and it just kind of like I said, I built a relationship, with the guy, just doing business with him, to where he didn't have to like contact anyone else to buy or sell things to. This one is Dick Tracy's police squad car. And I don't see too many of these on eBay, but these were actually the collector's case, which I don't know, like, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had them, growing up. If you went to your friend's house, you would put your figures in here, so you wouldn't get them lost. Yeah, the figures, like I said, I thought they were pretty cool. They came with, accessories and things of that time. So essentially, that's about it. But what's considered the grail for this series of figures is actually this figure itself. This is the blank. I'm not going to say who the actor or actress is. If you've watched the movie, you know who this is. This is like a super rare figure. I think a lot of people that collect figures, they know what this is. They may or may not want it. It's not everyone's grail. But I ended up having two of these. I ended up messaging. Well, actually, I posted this on Instagram, and I had one gentleman message me and say, "Hey, I've been looking for this figure. Do you have one for sale? Are you willing to part with one?" And so I made an agreement with him, and he gave me, a certain amount of money, and I shipped him one figure, and he just today sent me the last payment. So as soon as things go well with that payment, he is going to be the proud owner of a blank figure. Like I said, I would love to have kept this. I would have kept it, but like my collecting habits have been, comic books and other, collectibles, and so while I hate to get rid of this, I know that it's going to a good home. I know the gentleman that told me he was, buying it, that this is something that he wanted in his childhood. So if you didn't know, like I said, if you even find this figure loose, it's like an $800-900 figure. It's not a cheap figure. People get this thing graded, and obviously that kind of increases the value of it. But yeah, like I said, I'll be sending this out pretty soon, within the next week or so, and I'll be adding something else in my collection, or paying off something just to fund more purchases. Anyways, I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video segment. If you were like on a live stream that you saw me posting figures, I have so many figures that I jokingly said to my wife, I'm going to have a t-shirt made that says I'm one action figure away from being featured on an episode of Hoarders. So stay tuned to my channel. I'm probably going to put something else up that maybe you would enjoy. Maybe this wasn't, like I said, something that you had when you were a kid, but I hope you gained some kind of knowledge or enjoyed at least seeing the figures. And I guess until next time, I hope you are good. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you again for watching.